There's one man who seems to be the perennial newsmaker in Indian cricket. It doesn't matter whether he's playing or not, but KL Rahul is always in the news. He's not in action at the moment as far as the game's shortest format is concerned. He was dropped as far as the longest format of the game is concerned ahead of the test match against New Zealand in Pune. He is in consideration for that opening slot if Rohit Sharma is not going to be there for the first test match in Perth. But at the moment, KL Rahul continues to be the newsmaker across the spectrum. And why I have a picture of him alongside Sanjeev Goenka, his former franchise owner. Who knows if the two reunite? You never quite know. But we now know the reasons behind the two of them parting ways. We've already heard from Sanjeev Goenka. Mr. Goenka had earlier said after the retentions came out that he wanted players who had that winning mentality, who placed the team before their personal milestones. We heard that again. Maybe it was a well-did dig at KL Rahul or not. We don't quite know that, but we never quite heard from the former LSG captain. And now we know KL Rahul's plans, not just as far as IPL is concerned, but also what he is thinking in terms of a return to the Indian team as well. He's not played a single match since the final of the 2022 World Cup semi-final, which took place in Adelaide. But does KL Rahul think his T20I career is over? Not quite. Be with me as I lift the lid on that. But first, let's talk about the relationship getting broken between KL Rahul and the Lucknow Super Giants. Now, what is it that KL Rahul has had to say about leaving the franchise? Well, he says that he wanted to start afresh. He wanted to explore his options and go to a place where he could find some freedom. The team atmosphere would be lighter. Sometimes you just need to move away and find something good for yourself. This is what KL Rahul believes at the moment. Now, let's just cut back and think about those visuals that played out, ugly scenes that we saw between the two gentlemen over here on the cricket field that had happened during the previous edition of the IPL. It wasn't good, and that's not something that you see very often happen on a sporting arena or on the cricket field for that matter. But we know that the scenes were rather ugly between the two, and since then the relationship has been rather speculated. Though the two of them were seen dining with each other as well. I think it was in Kolkata just about a couple of months back that the two were spotted dining with each other. But all of that, whether that was posturing, whether that was just a gesture, whether that was just taking talks forward about the IPL retentions, we don't quite know what all of that was all about. However, what we do know is that there was some sort of a misalignment between the two parties, and it reflects not just in what Mr. Sanjeev Goenka had said about a week back, it also reflects in what KL Rahul says here when he asks for more freedom. So clearly there was a mismatch in terms of the two parties and what their wavelengths really were. There was a bit of a disconnect over there, and which is why KL Rahul was not retained by the Lucknow Super Giants. Now, that's just part one. There is another thing that I had earlier talked about as well, and that is KL Rahul's future in the game's shortest format. Do we think he's done and dusted? Not quite. In his head, he feels he can still make a comeback, because that he feels is still the main aim. He says his main aim is to come back into the Indian T20 team. He also says that he knows where he stands as a player, and I know what I need to do to get back. So I look forward to this IPL season to give me that platform to go back and enjoy my cricket. My main aim, like I just told you, is to get back to the Indian team. He's not been around. It's been 2 years now. In fact, exactly since the time KL Rahul played his last T20 international for the Indian team. But in his mind, he feels he knows what his game is. He knows what he can bring to the table, and he's not done and dusted. He's not given up on his T20 international career. So the IPL, the 2025 edition of the IPL, not only does it become crucial for him as a leader, because leadership has been central to him for the last 3 seasons. We've seen him lead the Lucknow Super Giants, but where does KL Rahul, or rather, how does KL Rahul get to redefine himself in the game's shortest format? It becomes crucial, as he says, it is the platform that he needs right now, and he's excited about IPL 2025. Also, becomes a platform for him to stage a comeback into the Indian team. Things are very competitive in the Indian team. You've moved past to KL Rahul. His batting position is also up for debate. But all of those answers, perhaps we will get as IPL 2025 unfolds. If you liked this video, give us a thumbs up. Do subscribe to Sports Today if you haven't done so already.